Tim Conley Drums. I am at the music school that I teach at, the Merriam School of Music, and just waiting for my student to show up, so I thought I would just shoot out a quick video on why you should learn an instrument, especially adults. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to give you 5 really good points, but the most important one is actually not geared at kids, because kids are the ones that traditionally take music lessons, but this is geared towards adults. And that is that as you get older, your brain starts to deteriorate to some degree. One of the things that's been proven in studies is that your brain is extremely active when you're playing drums, because your brain has to work so hard. You're using all 4 limbs and even a 5th limb. And I'm not talking about singing. What I'm saying is, even though you can sing and play the drums, but what I'm saying is counting, stating a pulse, like going doom, 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 doom while you play, and also blowing a whistle. I got videos of me playing Brazilian rhythms, and while all 4 of my limbs are going, I'm also blowing a whistle as well. So it's vitally important for adults to learn how to play an instrument, and specifically drums, just because of what it does to your brain and how it keeps your brain functioning. I can't remember the name of the study, but I know there's been studies that have proven that drummers are quite smart, and in fact smarter than most of the population, because of the fact that their brain is so active because of playing rhythmic patterns. And when you start to become an advanced drummer and you get into polyrhythms, that sort of thing, you know, crossing over the bar line with your grooves, learning how to play patterns in different time signatures and stuff like that, that really gets your brain going. All of these things add up to a healthier person and a healthier brain, which leads me to number 2. Number 2 is, it's a very physical thing. Playing drums is physical. And in some cases, it's a workout, especially if you're playing double kick. If you're playing double kick, holy moly, whenever I've had to do a lot of double kick, I have to pre-train that, because you got to be in shape. You really do. Now, I'm not in, running shape. I'm 60 years old. I'm not out running down the street. But in terms of drummer shape is what I'm talking about. You have to practice to get yourself into drummer shape. And man, playing that double kick, especially at a furious pace, if you're playing them at fast 16ths or any kind of 30-second notes, man, that is quite a workout. So the drums are a form of fitness for a lot of people. Number 3 is that it is fun. Plain and simple. Playing drums, whether you're 8 years old or you're 65 years old, it's fun. It is extremely fun. One of the things my students always tell me is they're crapping their pants before they have to go up and play, whether it be at a festival event here, or at a recital, or if they have to play at school, their church, whatever. So when they have to play, they're nervous, and that's perfectly normal. We all get nervous before any kind of a performance. But the feeling of elation when they're done, and the satisfaction, and being able to say, I did it, is an incredible feeling. And it's an incredible drive, and it's the same type of thing. When you're up there, that adrenaline rush that you get, that's my drug. I don't drink, I don't use drugs. Anyone that watches my channel knows that. My rush is being on stage. It's not only my workplace and my office, but it's my rush. And all my students tell me that they didn't understand what I was talking about if they'd never been on stage prior to the lessons that they had with me. But once they get on stage and they do it, then they understand and they go, now I get it. Now I understand what you're talking about when you say about how it's thrilling and it's something that you crave. Once you get on stage and you perform, it's something you want to continue to do over and over and over. I've played thousands and thousands of gigs, and I still crave the stage. So it is, in essence, the metaphor is that it is a form of a drug, but it's a very, very healthy and wonderful thing. That is absolutely for sure. The next thing is, again, adult students, it gives you something to do. If you're an adult student and you don't have a hobby, music is the best hobby to pick up. And I'm not even talking specifically about drums, even though of course I'm gonna, push drums, that people learn drums. Now, if you decide you want to take lessons, that's fantastic. That's why people like me are here. I'm here to teach. Like I said, I'm waiting for my student, and I enjoy teaching all ages. I usually teach about 7. My youngest student is 7, and my oldest student that I've ever taught was about 75. So all ages. So it doesn't matter how old you are, you can still continue to learn. I can remember Dom Famularo telling a story about a man, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, in the 15th century. He was an explorer and he was seeking out the fountain of youth. Well, in modern day, I can tell you, I found it. The fountain of youth is knowledge and learning. Learning is the fountain of youth. If your brain is active and your body is active and you're taking lessons and you're learning, and then your teacher gives you stuff to work on and you go home and you practice it, there is no better hobby than that. And you'll be shocked if you've never played an instrument. You will be absolutely shocked at what this does for you mentally and physically, and how you will think about your practice sessions and how, I got to get down to that drum room. I got to spend time practicing. You'll become an addict like me, where I always try and get practice time in. It's funny, I've got my pad here and I got my sticks here, and I love practicing on a pad. I love it. And I've been doing this for 53 years. I've been playing drums, and I've never grown tired of drum practice. So that's another thing. Not only is it a wonderful hobby that can overtake you and captivate you, and be that 16-year-old that plays his guitar all day in his room. I mean, obviously you can't do that as an adult. We all got to work, and my work happens to be actually playing this instrument. I'm a full-time musician, but there's an excitement that's created when you're at work. Say you work a factory job, so you're putting the car parts together and whatnot, and it's 3 o'clock, and you go look at your watch, and you're leaving at 4, and you go, oh man, I'm leaving at 4, and I can't wait to get home and practice my drums. It's a wonderful thing, because then you're 16 all over again. There's a youthfulness in that. And to be 16 when you're 60 years old, and you think back, when I think back, sitting in math class at 3 o'clock, I couldn't wait to get home to play my drums. So you can relive that as an adult, and it doesn't matter about your age. You can relive that moment of excitement, thinking, I get to go home and play my drums, And it's a very healthy thing that you want to aspire to learn how to play an instrument, and then maybe even play in a band. That would be the most amazing thing. Now, the last thing I want to say in my 5 is that drums and music lessons create relationships in the musical community. So in other words, you run into another drummer, it's hilarious. What? You play drums? What kind of drums do you play? Oh, I play Ludwig. Oh, you play Gretsch? Oh, tell me about the Gretsch kit. Oh, I play Sabian cymbals. Oh, you play Zildjian cymbals? What do you like about the Zildjians? Oh, what kind of sticks do you use? Oh, I play Vic Firth Extreme 5As. What do you play? Oh, I play Vader 7As. Oh, incredible. So that gear bonding that musicians have, especially drummers, they love to talk about their bass drum pedals and their drum stools and their cymbals and their drum heads. Oh, I'm a Remo guy. Oh, I'm an Evans guy, It creates camaraderie, and it creates a community that is unlike any other community. Musician community is a very, very tight community. And I encourage you, if you're, taking lessons or you're learning how to play an instrument, you might not be taking lessons. It doesn't matter whether you're taking lessons or not. Try to reach out on Facebook and Instagram and places like this, and get yourself into the drum communities. And then, of course, go hang out in your local music store and talk to guys in the music store. I can remember doing that. I go into music stores and I'm always talking to people in the music store. People are always asking me questions, and I'm always demonstrating stuff and whatever in the music stores. And it's a fantastic community, and it's a loving community. And that's another thing, is that the feeling of love amongst musicians is truly an incredible thing. So a guitar player meets a bass player, a guitar player meets a drummer, and they're always talking about music. They're talking about bands. They're talking about songs. They're talking about, if they went to music school, or they're talking about if they take lessons or whatever. It immediately opens up channels of conversation if you can be in that unique category of being a musician. Anyways, I hope you could hear me this whole time, because there was another drum teacher teaching somebody how to play Don't Stop Believin' on the drums next to me in the next drum room. But I hope I got my 5 points across, and thanks very much for watching. And please, seriously consider learning an instrument, not just drums, piano, guitar, violin, cello, bagpipes, whatever you want. But if you're interested in online drum lessons, hit me up. I'm always available. We just have to have Zoom and a PayPal account if you're interested in lessons with yours truly. Thanks very much for watching, and as always, keep drumming. See ya.